Hello and welcome to Aston Workshop. My name is Bob Garside. I've been in the motor trade for more than 40 years, 14 of which I've spent here at Aston Workshop in the restoration department. Aston Workshop was first founded in 1988. Now that's over 29 years ago, and today we've grown to be one of the world's largest Aston Martin centres, specialising in restoration, sales, repairs and parts, and also a whole lot more. Right, we'll start at the front of the car and we'll start with the steering and the suspension. Now, this car came as standard with power assisted steering, and it's quite obvious on this one here, after quite a few years, that there's signs of leakage. Now this will need overhauling obviously to put everything right, but that's not the end of the world, because we also do a modern electronically assisted steering system which you can fit to the car, and it's non-obtrusive, it's hidden away, and unless you knew what you were looking for, you wouldn't know it was there. Right, we'll go to the suspension now. Now obviously the car's 40 odd years old and it's going to have some signs of wear, but this one looks as though it's had some attention over the years. The rubber gaiters on the suspension look as though they've been renewed, brake hoses, etc. The general signs you get on these over the years is cracking on the anti-roll bar bushes, but there again you can do an upgrade on these, or it's a fairly easy job to change the bushes themselves. Now the engine was originally a 6-cylinder twin overhead cam, and it came as a manual with a 5-speed ZF gearbox, but this particular one has had an upgrade. Well, coming out of the gearbox we'll have a prop shaft, which as you can see travels the length of the car and is attached here to the differential, which takes the drive to both rear wheels. Again, as I said before, the car is quite old. There's a little bit of surface rust on the springs, and the brake discs could be in better condition, but there again these can all be easily changed and upgraded. Right, let's go to the exhaust system now. These are stainless steel, so obviously you don't have the corrosion that you would have on a normal exhaust system. You get occasional ground contact where they've hit the ground or they've had repairs over the years. This is a standard system with a 4 silencer setup. Yes, it looks quite sound. The easy thing to do on these is that most of the parts are easily replaced. If you need any more information on upgrades to the cars, or servicing or repairs or prices, please have a look at the telephone number or the website at the end of the video, and somebody will be pleased to give you some more information. Looking at the rear suspension setup, the original setup were lever arm shock absorbers, as you can see here. The bushes wear over the years, and the leak oil. This one has the selector ride system, whereby you can select the settings on the dash with a switch. The more modern setup now is to fit telescopic dampers, and we do an upgrade kit which can be fitted to most models. Right, we're going to move on to the bodywork now. Now, this is a conventional car with a steel chassis, but all the bodies are made of aluminium. Of course you don't get rust corrosion with aluminium, but you do get a different type of corrosion, so we'll be looking for any body damage, corrosion, paint marks, etc. So we'll start with the near side rear wing and move round. Alright, we'll start with the edges of the panels, see if there's any paint chips. Now if you look here, this is a classic case of aluminium corrosion, where you're getting some bubbling coming through from underneath. Again, that could be easily dealt with. And we'll follow around. See if there's any rippling or anything like that. Various stone chips, something you would expect on a car of this age that hasn't been restored. We'll continue around now the rest of the car, doing a general check. We're just picking up at the moment obvious faults that are obvious to the eye. One or two minor dents on the door there. Again, a few stone chips, but that's to be expected. We'll move on now to the front panel, grille and under panel, etc. This is the area that gets most damage on the road with stone chips, etc. So it's not unusual to see any contact damage underneath here. You can see the number plates got a lot of chips on it, but the main areas are quite sound, and the grille itself, which is a major part of the front end. In passing, I'm just noticing that this will have the original lighting setup from the 60s and later on. It's a sealed beam unit. Now these were adequate in the day, but these days there's much more efficient lighting systems around with upgraded lamp bulbs, and we can even fit the latest HID upgrades if you want. Again, information can be found at the end of the video. The bodywork isn't too bad. As I said before, there's various stone chips, one or two scratches, but nothing that can't be put right. Now here we are, obviously on the inside of the car, showing usual signs of wear that you would expect of a reasonably used car, but it's generally very tidy. The dashboard, lovely dashboard, all the instruments are there, they're clean, there's no major paintwork damage or any damage to the leather on the top of the dash. Right, we're going to have a look at the engine and the engine bay now. Now immediately the first thing you notice is this is a standard engine. As I said before, it's a 6-cylinder twin overhead cam, but this one is fitted with the triple SU carburetors. If it was a Vantage car, it would have triple twin choke Webers. We're looking at the general tidiness inside. Again, a lot of detail can be done if you want to tidy up engine bays. They can be repainted, new hoses, etc. These video reports don't contain every minor fault on the vehicle. They're designed to give an idea of the overall condition. If you need any more information, contact details can be found at the end of this video.